All right, so let's see. What I did play was Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
How is a Xenoblade?
So
Chronicles
I have some things to say. One, game's great. Very much a sequel to the first Xenoblade. Doesn't feel like Chronicles X at all.
Good.
Very highly characterized, super anime.
Very anime.
I heard your favorite characters in it now.
So,
did you get your KOS-MOS from your favorite franchise?
Did you hear what I did when I heard about that?
No.
Okay, so KOS-MOS is a rare blade. The long story short is that there's an in-game a rarity system where you get cores and you unlock the core, and it's kind of like an in-game no-money loot box. And what could it be? Oh, is it a good core? And cores are your class, basically.
Yep.
And if it's a generic one, it just looks like a generic armored person. And if it's a rare one, it's its own character designed by nearly all, I think, guest designers.
Yeah.
And one of them is KOS-MOS.
Right.
And
I think KOS-MOS was a guest designer.
No,
and
when somebody like the night before the game came out, a friend of mine said, "Hey Pat, check this out," and sent me the video of unlocking KOS-MOS. And I curled up my little baby fists and like punched my couch for like a minute, like kind of like idiot yelling at how fucking bullshit and unfair it is that fucking trash Xenosaga series I don't even know how to describe why this upsets me, but it's like if Street Fighter never existed. Say Street Fighter 2 happened and you love Street Fighter 2, right?
Yeah.
And then Street Fighter the movie came out.
The game.
Yeah, Street Fighter the movie, the game came out.
Yeah.
And then every single Capcom game afterwards would only include Street Fighter the movie characters and not Street Fighter 2 characters.
Right.
Like
So
that.
Personally, I would love that.
Yeah, I know, and so would I. But
so no matter what happens, you're just looking at like a texture that says "not Faye,"
not Faye, not Ellie, not anything, and it's so fucking infuriating. That being said, the game's really cool. The battle system's a lot more involved than the first game. There's a lot more going on. There's some art and localization problems with that game.
What do you mean?
One, everything in the game is like anime trash.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the main character has like a weird diving suit. And when he goes to dive, it's like a kind of a Big Daddy looking thing. He's got the diving helmet and he's got a full armor.
Mm-hmm.
But when he's not diving, he takes his pants off, but not the armor. So he's just walking around with like metal assless chaps.
Okay.
That sounds
You
good.
can look at this somewhere. It's easy. And Pyrrha's design is awful. She's like the most anime waifu trash thing ever. And like...
So KOS-MOS is right at home.
Yeah, no, like there's one really amazing design that I know you would love because it's like a military Naoto.
Dope.
But like almost every design is just crap anime trash, and it's a bummer.
That's kind of the problem with, since they hired multiple character concept artists, that there's not a cohesive.
But
because I saw a Nomura design from the game that I thought was quite good. I was like, whoa, that's pretty sharp.
and
looking.
there's
But otherwise, you're
Nomura
going back
designs
to
that
Soul Calibur 4.
Yeah,
You know?
Yeah.
and it's
Scheherazade.
and it's just like it's fucking weird and tonally dissonant with each other, and the characters don't look like they actually inhabit the world that they live in.
That's the worst. That is the
And-
worst.
But also like Pyrrha's design is like Pyrrha is the main female character. She's the partner character. She's there the whole time, and her design is awful. Like just the weird showing skin here, but totally covered there, anime waifu trash bait thing. And it's to the point, there's a clip on the subreddit of when I was streaming it, to hide her identity, you throw a coat on her at one point, and it's a generic coat, and her design is like 10 times better just by putting the coat on.
It's because you have to certain franchises are like all about exploding with anime appeal.
Yeah,
and like they're trying to get a certain audience.
And it's not that they're like oh, the characters all look hot or whatever. It's like the characters all look like pandering trash.
Yeah,
like Dead or Alive has more class than this. And the other fun thing, and this is a plus, even though it's terrible, is the English localization is...
I heard Scottish localization.
It is all of it. So I don't know what they fucking told the localization company, but it's the whole of the British Isles.
Well,
and the main character,
the Scots ruined anime.
So the main character, Rex, I have been told apparently this is his real accent, but he has one of those drifting accents that switches from London to North to Scottish to Irish. It's all over the place. And then your main voice actor, who has a lot of Japanese hot-blooded yells, has the worst English yell I have ever heard in a video game.
That's a really bold statement.
I will try and emulate it. The text for him is he is screaming and attacking the villain while, swinging his sword around. And it is A, repeating, I... Y-A-H, right? Aya, right?
Mm-hmm.
He pronounces it like this. Aya. And he does it again later in the cutscene, and it's even worse. It's so bad.
Correct me if I'm wrong about this, because I don't know whether it's this game or whether it's Fire Emblem Warriors. Does this not have Japanese voice packs?
It does.
Okay. But
there's a different problem with that I'll get to in just a second. Also, some of the characters are just American for some reason.
Sure.
There's a character who actually has the most intense Welsh accent I've heard in anything, and that's actually quite good. But it's mainly like the main character and like what country are these people supposed to? Because they're all from. It's all over the place.
When you say wandering British accent, like because there's so many versions.
Okay. So I spoke to Klemps about this.
Yeah.
Because he would know. We can't pin down where this guy is from because sentence to sentence.
Yeah.
He changes location. He sounds like an amalgamation of England.
Right, because the way God, what's his fucking name talks, the way the way anyone in Snatch talks, for example, is you're like Cockney almost sounding whatever, right?
Crap.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which is completely different from like Ozzy Osbourne and the
Yeah. No, I'm saying this character switches between like 3 or 4.
Do they go like BBC?
Like he switches from like a generic like Queen's English to like Scottish like fucking fat bastard level pronunciation with like from scene to scene. And it's crazy. And the problem with that is that so that's hilarious. And if you love hilariously bad anime voice acting, that's good for you. And I do, so I'm leaving it on. But say you want to switch to the Japanese dub, right? Which you totally can.
Download the pack.
Nothing outside of the cutscenes is subtitled. So all ambient dialogue, all battle dialogue, it's all gone.
Okay.
And that sucks.
Well, are you really missing anything important during that? Or do you do your characters have conversations outside of cutscenes?
Little barks.
Your characters have full conversations outside of cutscenes.
Then that's a problem.
Well, in WRPGs, and Matt, you probably know this as well, the Baldur's Gate style is you go to a town and every half an hour your characters will have a little 3-4 sentence interlude.
Yeah.
The characters do that in Xenoblade, and it's not subtitled.
That's stupid.
And it sucks. So if you can play with objectively better voice acting, but you miss out.
Yeah.
Or you can play with hilarious bad voice acting, which is mainly the main character, honestly. Everybody else seems fine.
It sounds to me like such a huge omission that they just tried to get this in there before launch, and maybe it'll be patched in, but who knows?
Street Fighter 4 got it right. Character specific.
Oh, yeah. Just Rex.
Well, your main guy is speaking Japanese and everyone else is speaking English.
Also, everybody's names got changed from one version to the other, which is super weird.
That happens.
Yeah, but
but is it for logistical purposes?
Well, the characters in many
W's
in many cases had like super Japanese names.
B's.
There was a character named Yoshitsune that got their name changed, and the main villain's name got changed from Shin to Jin.
Yeah, what's the point of that?
What is the point of
That's
that?
Pointless.
They're both like cool guy names.
What's wrong with? Well, I mean, you can go Yoshitsune or you can go Yoshitsune. But That's
fine. They got changed to like Malos or something.
Okay.
like wild changes. The other problem with the English dub is that the English dub is a total like reinterpretation of the text. So like, and you can see it in the voice acting. So there's a scene in which a character gets stabbed, and you can see on their Japanese lip sync that they are screaming like crazy and going, fuck. And in English, they do the quiet, like, I got
owned.
And it's totally different. Like, a bunch of scenes have had their contexts completely changed.
Damn.
It's super weird. Game's fun, but yeah, all that shit is super weird. It's fun to watch because it's so inconsistent.
Keeps you guessing.
Yeah, Treehouse localization. That's
I'm not even sure if it might have been them because the last couple of games weren't even them. Like the big RPGs, like Last Story.
I thought all the British stuff was based on them.
Nintendo of Europe, actually.
Okay, but bye.
I don't know whether this one was Treehouse or not, but like the last two RPGs, because Xenoblade, the original on the Wii, was definitely Nintendo of Europe. I'm pretty sure. Last Story was done by Exceed, and even then, I think Nintendo of Europe might have.
So it was completely unrelated, but it was just coincidence that we ended up with all these British sounding like dubs.
Then they were like put in. Now that they want to localize this, maybe the Treehouse or whatever,
because Xenoblade.
Maybe they were like, well, I guess we have to have tons of British voice acting.
And it was but it wasn't. Didn't they share actors as well? Didn't Xenoblade? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Xenoblade and Last Story shared voice actors to some degree.
But I mean, that's common.
So, I thought it was like the idea was like almost like Ocean Group shows up in Canada, and suddenly we start hearing Scott McNeil everywhere.
Maybe.
Like I think it was that I felt it was one of those situations where it's like, okay, like a dub gang showed up,
the dub gang,
right? Stopped, dropped, and opened up shop.
The British dub gang.
Yeah. Have you seen anime Crimes Division?
I saw the first episode.
Yeah, with ProZD.
Yes.
Yeah, cool. That was pretty fun. Dubs versus subs for life. I love it. It was good. Have you seen that, by the way?
I have not, unfortunately. I didn't realize it came out. I saw the previews and all that, and then it kind of left my brain.
There's some good bits. They're doing good work.
ProZD was the right person to choose.
He was the right person to choose. Absolutely. Good job, Rocket Jump.
We love you, ProZD.